We'll talk about adding and subtracting sign numbers. Adding numbers with the same sign or adding numbers with different signs. We want to make sure that we get that because that helps us whether it's numbers or with algebraic variable expressions. Adding numbers with the same sign, you're going to add the numbers and the positive values of the numbers and then keep the common sign. So if both numbers are positive, then obviously you just get a positive result. 5 plus 7 is 12. If both numbers are negative, negative 6 plus a negative 8 becomes 6 plus 8 is 14. Keep the common sign, negative 14. Negative 13 plus, well, I'm sorry, negative 13 minus 6 is the same as saying negative 13 plus a negative 6. Both numbers are negative, so we add them. 13 plus 6, we get 19. Since they're both negative, we keep the common sign. Now, if these were variable expressions, then the same idea is applied. When I'm adding monomials and they're like terms, that means they have the same variable expression, x times y, for example, x times y. Just add the coefficients and keep the common variable expression, 12xy. All I did was to take these arithmetic terms and just put them in conjunction with algebraic terms, and you do the same thing. This is negative 6 there, a negative 8 here, right? Negative 6 x squared y, negative 8 x squared y. I'm adding two terms that are negative. I get 14. They're both negative, so it's negative 14. Keep the common variable expression x squared y. Negative 13y minus 6y is 13 plus 6 is 19. They're both negative, negative 19. Keep the variable expression y. Now when you add numbers with different signs, a little bit different here. So if they have different signs, subtract the two numbers. And then I'll talk about the absolute value. The absolute value of a number is just positive value. Basically, if you measure that number, if it's negative, the measurement is still positive. If numbers have different signs and you want to add, you're going to subtract the numbers. When you subtract 9 and 15, if I subtract those two numbers, I get 6. And then the number with the larger absolute value, the largest positive number, I take its sign and I put to the answer. Well, 15 is bigger than 9, so this becomes negative 6. Negative 27 plus 12, subtract. Different signs, subtract, I get 15. 27 is bigger than 12. 27 is negative, it's negative 15. This is 29 minus 19 is just good old common subtraction. 29 minus 19 is just 20. If there were variables here, like what I did over here, 9x plus a negative 15x, the hardest thing is dealing with those numbers. Negative 6, keep the common variable x. Negative 27ab plus 12ab is negative 15ab. 29x squared minus 19x squared is 20x squared. Okay. Now, sometimes you run into this. You may have, let's say, 5 minus a negative 3. Well, this is 5 plus 3. We get 8. So whenever you see that negative, parentheses negative, just make that a positive. Okay.